Good evening. My name is Chris Peterson, and this is my beautiful audience. I'd first off like to start by thanking you all for coming out this evening to listen to my informative speech about the 7 ancient wonders of the world. The term 7 ancient wonders of the term 7 wonders of the ancient world refers to the remarkable construction of the ancient times, mostly through the 1st and 2nd centuries BC. You might be asking yourself, what are the 7 different wonders? Number 1, there's the Great Pyramid of Giza. 2, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. 3, there's the Temple of Artemis of Ephesus. 4 is the statue of Zeus at Olympia. 5 is the Mausoleum of Holocaustus. 6 is the Colossus of Rhodes. And 7 is the Lighthouse of Alexandria. The Great Pyramid of Giza was built by the Egyptians in 2584 to 2561 BC in Giza necropolis, Egypt. The pyramid was believed to be built as a tomb for the 4th dynasty Egyptian pharaoh Khufu. The pyramid thought to be originally built to 480 feet tall, but due to erosion and lack of proper care, its present height is 455 feet tall. Each base side is measured at 750 feet long, and the estimated weight is 5.9 million tons. Based on this estimate, for the building to be built in 20 years, they would have to have set in 800 tons per day. And this is the only one of the ancient wonders that's still in existence today. Number 2 is the Hanging Garden of Babylon. This was built around 600 BC by the Chaldeans around the Iraq region. This is a garden attributed by the Neo-Babylon king that ruled between 605 and 562 BC. He built this garden to please his homesick wife, who missed the plants from her homeland, I guess you could say. And so there's actually no proof, no evidence of this garden existing, only from what writers that lived in that time have said. One expert described the garden as it's sloping on a hillside with several structures stacking on top of each other. It said it somewhat resembled like a theater, I guess you could say. The garden was destroyed by earthquakes after 1st century BC. Next is the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, also known as the Temple of Diana. This was built by Lydian Greeks in 550 BC in Turkey. The Greeks built the temple in dedication to the goddess Artemis. She was the goddess of the hunt, forest, hills, and the moon. The temple was completely rebuilt twice before its final destruction. The first phase, the building was made out of clay, and it was destroyed by a flood. Phase 2, they built it, and it was 377 feet long and 180 feet wide. It was a temple built in marble, and they had columns that stood over 40 foot tall. This was destroyed in 356 BC by Herostratus, and furthermore in 262 AD by the Goths. Next, we have the statue of Zeus at Olympia. This was built in Olympia, Greece, in 435 BC by the Greek. The purpose of the statue is to worship the god, or the god Zeus, who is the king of all gods. It's a seated statue that stood over 43 foot tall inside of a temple, and it was destroyed between the 5th and 6th century AD by a fire. Now we have the Mausoleum of Holocarnassus. This was built during 351 BC in Bagram, Turkey, by the Carnian Greeks. This was a tomb built for Mausolus, as a leader in the Persian Empire, and for Artemisia II of Caria, is his wife and his sister. It's kind of weird. The mausoleum was made completely out of marble and stood approximately 148 feet tall, with different sculptures on each of the four sides of it. In 1494 AD, this was destroyed by a flood. Next, we have the Colossus of Rhodes. This was built by the Greeks in 292 280 BC in Rhodes, Greece. This is a statue that was constructed to celebrate Rhodes' victory over the ruler of Cyprus in 305 BC. The statue was of the Greek titan Helos, which stood over 107 feet tall, making it one of the tallest statues in ancient time. This was destroyed by earthquakes in 226 BC. The last wonder of the world is the Lighthouse of Alexandria. This was constructed in Alexandria, Egypt, by the Greeks in 280 BC. It's a tower on the island of the Pharaohs at Alexandria, Egypt, to guide sailors into the harbor at night. The height estimates between 393 foot or anywhere from 393 to 450 feet tall, which for many centuries made it the tallest man-made structure on the earth. At its apex was positioned a mirror that reflected the sunlight during the day, and a fire, or was lit by a fire at night, so that the sailors could see when they're coming into the harbor. This was destroyed by an earthquake also sometime between 303 and 1480 AD. So that's all of the seven ancient wonders of the world. We covered the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, the statue of Zeus at Olympia, the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, the Colossus of Rhodes, and the Lighthouse of Alexandria. At this time, are there any questions that I could answer for you all? Yes, you and the gold.
How many of the ancient wonders of the world are still left today?
Well, actually, there's only one of them that's still around, and that's the ancient pyramids in Egypt. So you should go over there and check it out. It's going to be really cool. Are there any other questions?
Out of all of them, which one is your favorite?
I would have to say probably the pyramids, only because you can still go and see them, and we can actually be part of this ancient history. Are there any other questions? Okay, well, I would like to thank y'all all for coming out tonight. Y'all all look very beautiful. Please drive home safe, and thank you.